Are you ready to show some interest in the conversation? So today we'll practice some phrases you can use to show interest in a conversation. When someone is telling you something and you want to encourage them to continue speaking, tell me more. That sounds interesting. That's something you can say, and it shows that you're listening and interested. That sounds interesting. All right, you could also say, how did that go? Use this to ask about the result of something. How did that go? For example, if someone mentions an event, a meeting, or something they recently tried to do, like a job interview maybe, you can use this phrase to encourage them to tell you more. Tell me more. How did that go? How did that go? Now notice we emphasize or we stress that because it refers to the event, the situation the person just mentioned. And here's an example. I went to my sister's wedding on Saturday. Oh, really? How did that go? So you want to know more about that wedding, right? That is referring to the wedding. How did that go? What was that like? All right, this is very similar, but we use it to ask about someone's experience. What was that like? How was that experience? What was that experience like? So here's another one. No way, really? This is a common informal phrase you can use to show surprise. No way, really? All right, so it's a casual, so use it with friends. That must have been. Use this phrase to respond to someone's experience with an adjective. Okay, that must have been adjective. For example, that must have been scary. They tell you a scary story and you say, oh, that must have been scary. That must have been fun. That must have been interesting. That must have been boring. That must have been crazy. It's a natural way to react when someone tells you about something they experienced. All right, moving on. Here are a few more natural phrases you can use to show interest. No kidding? Use this to show surprise or strong interest in what someone is saying. No kidding. Seriously? All right, this is surprise. Seriously? You're reacting with surprise? Seriously? And then what happened? Use this when you want the person to continue their story. And then what happened? And then? And then? Sometimes we just say it like that. And then? And then? How was that? This is a simple and natural way to ask about someone's experience. How was that experience? All right, now here's some sample conversations. Asking about an event. I had a job interview yesterday. Oh, really? How did that go? Oh, really? How did that go? I think it went pretty well. Yeah, I think it went pretty well. That sounds interesting. What was it like? All right, showing surprise. I saw my favorite actor at a cafe last weekend. No way, really? No way, really? Yes, he was sitting right next to me. Seriously? That must have been exciting. Seriously, that must have been exciting. All right. I'm going to tell you. About the time I saw an actor. Twice in my life, I met an actor. The first time was at a ski resort, and I was eating lunch with my friend at the lodge, and my friend was like, "Look behind you." And I looked behind me, and it was the actor Robert Redford. You might not know him. He's from a long time ago. And he was eating with his family. I was just like, oh, it's Robert Redford. Oh, my gosh. The second famous person I met was at an airport, and she was in the airport bookstore looking at the magazines, and she was searching for a magazine. You probably know this person. She's Monica from the TV show Friends. At that time, I didn't know the TV show Friends, but I recognized her from the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, with Jim Carrey. And I said, that's that girl from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, to my friend. And we went over to the magazine rack, and my friend spoke, and he said, are you from the movie Ace Ventura, Pet Detective? And she looked up at us, and she said, yes. And then I said, oh, we thought that was you. So stupid. We were just young guys. And that was it. That was the whole conversation. And then we just nodded. So bad example on how to keep a conversation going. All right, that was when I saw Monica from Friends. Moving on. Encouraging someone to continue. We got lost during our trip and ended up in a tiny village. Wow, that sounds interesting. And then what happened? A local family helped us find our hotel. That must have been such a memorable experience. Yeah, it was. Okay, asking about an experience. I tried rock climbing for the first time. Oh, nice. What was that like? It was difficult, but really fun. That must have been a good time. Yeah, it was. It was a great time. All right, that was a short one. Boom. Join me in the next lesson. In the next practice, we're going to practice some useful phrases to keep a conversation going. I could have used these phrases in my situation with Monica. All right, we'll see you there.